The multimillion marine park industry has become one of the largest in the world. It's particularly prominent in Latin America and the Caribbean. Aquariums began operating in our country in the early 1970s. For the last 50 years in Mexico, marine species confinement has caused dolphins and sea lions consistently to die at a very early age. The most widely captured species for marine parks is the bottlenose dolphin, the well-known flipper. Most of these dolphins have been caught in Mexico, but intense catches are also made in Cuba, Japan, Russia, and the Solomon Islands, which are located in northeast Australia. These aquariums have proliferated alarmingly in the last 50 years in Mexico. They are located in Mexico City, Guadalajara, Acapulco, Los Cabos, Puerto Vallarta, Nueva Vallarta, Sonora, Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo, Cancún, Isla Mujeres, Cozumel, Puerto Venturas, Xcaret, Xel-Há, Mahahual, and some others. Perhaps most prominent of all is Quintana Roo, as it's the most profitable. Sea lions and dolphins are required to perform circus acts for the amusement of spectators. Later on, swimming with dolphins became popular. This is obviously much more lucrative, especially with foreign tourism. People who come to see these shows do not know the processes by which animals are subdued. Often they are imprisoned in tanks, and this has a serious effect on their lives and behavior. If you didn't like staying at home for a few weeks during the virus quarantine, imagine them. Dolphins, orcas, and cetaceans are animals that exist in complex social groups. Living freely, they can travel hundreds of kilometers in a single day, reach great speed as they swim, and dive into very deep waters. They live in highly organized social groups, and their connections constitute a complex social structure we didn't understand until recently. All capture methods are violent and produce high levels of stress, not just for the capture animals, but for the entire group. To separate potential dolphins for use as performers, their family and companions are slowly and painfully killed. Others die from massive shock and cardiac arrest. Those who manage to survive die in less than 3 months. Generally, the boats used are owned by fishermen in the area where the specimens are to be caught. For this, a group of dolphins is located and nets are thrown over the entire group. Animals that are caught in order to perform or to be locked up for exhibition are forced to interact with humans. This means they eat food that is not part of their natural diet, experience temperatures that are not typical of their habitat, endure noises that destroy their ears. These include the sound of water pumps, air conditioning motors and heaters, and the sound of metal from cages being handled or cleaned. Animals in captivity live only 1/3 the span they could live in the wild. Causes of death include septicemia, fungal infections, heart disease, kidney failure, infections of teeth, gums, and skin, chronic stress, anorexia, intestinal infection, perpetual vomiting, poisoning due to chlorine, and premature delivery by artificial insemination at an early age, resulting in the death of both mother and baby. Animals in captivity have no control over the space they live in or the food they eat. The choice of living in one place over another, their time, the smells they experience, the temperature of the water, and the noise in their vicinity. They simply have no control over their lives. Period. Can you imagine living like this? The dolphins that are forced to swim with people experience such level of stress that their aggression towards humans has resulted in bruised and ruptured internal organs, broken bones, and even death. Here are the words of a witness who experienced the behavior of stressed dolphins when people were swimming with them. We all had to get out of the water immediately because the dolphins started swimming frantically up and down, and obviously a whack from a dolphin is going to really hurt you. Another serious problem marine parks that offer swimming with dolphins don't tell you is that the water you get into is not clean. A dolphin urinates and defecates 5 times more than an average human. Dolphins permanently confined in a tank or a sea pen produce huge amounts of sewage each day. Contamination from tank water, spray from the animals' blowholes, and kissing animals on the mouth can transmit microorganisms from animal to human. This includes the pathogen Pseudomonas, which causes respiratory disease in humans as well as marine mammals. The organism also causes serious wound infections that may result in fatal septicemia. Animal confinement creates behaviors such as moving rapidly from one place to another, swaying, self-injury, and escaping. Like zoos, aquariums purport to teach adults and children about animals and to have respect for nature. They also claim to have conservation and wildlife protection programs. If what I've described constitutes teaching, we should seriously question our reasoning. No captive animal represents what in nature really is. Captivity is not natural. To sum up, I present a paragraph from a scientific article by Wiley InterScience published in 2007 about swimming with dolphins. Animals are literally imported into our world, placed in beautiful containers completely out of situ. But in order to mask this reality, they are presented as willing partners and as equals from whom we have so much to learn. Now you know what's behind each aquarium, zoo, and circus that allows us to see and interact with animals. Whether or not this cruel practice continues is up to you.